Hey, how's it going? I am a little goblin who likes to read books, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite authors, books, and genres, and maybe some that I'm not too keen on. So let's get into it. I love literature, almost all kinds. As you can see from the stacks around me, I'm not really super picky about genres. I just really like to learn things for the sake of learning them, or I just like certain authors and I want to read everything they've ever written. I've got spiritual books, blacksmithing books, silversmithing books, candle making books. I got books about mythology, Baltic, Celtic, Egyptian, you name it. I probably want to learn it, and I got a book for it somewhere. The only books that I really don't enjoy reading are romance novels. They're just kind of boring for my brain. It's almost like playing a kid's game or something like that. My brain is just like, wow, I'm done with that. Thank you for nothing. The language is just a little boring, and I have a really hard time with it, so I just kind of avoid the genre altogether. I have yet to actually read one where I've been like, wow, I am not sorry I read that book. I didn't always like to read either. I think in about like the 4th grade, I had told my mom that I wanted to watch Pet Sematary, and she was like, I tell you what, if you can get through the book, you can watch the movie, which in hindsight is terrible because the books are always way more brutal than the movies, but I wasn't going to tell her that because after reading the book, I no longer wanted to see the movie. I was hooked on books, and it was all Stephen King's fault. I remember that summer I read Pet Sematary, Carrie, Firestarter, Needful Things, all kinds of them, It, and stuff like that. But my favorite one, and still is The Eyes of the Dragon. And I think it's because it's a little bit of a different genre for him. Most of his kind of take place in like the real world with some supernatural elements, whereas this one, it's almost all mythical. And I really enjoy that from him. I think his writing style really came through on that one. And you watch like somebody in the comments is going to be like, he actually hates that book. That happens to me a lot, you'll see. I remember going into middle school and my brother started taking me to Borders. I don't know if you remember Borders, I'm ancient at this point. But I would go and I discovered manga there, and he introduced me to R.A. Salvador and the War of the Spider Queen series, which, oh my god, I didn't know about D&D or the Forgotten Realms or anything like that. I just knew that I was in love with Fran, and the Spider Queen was super cool, and I enjoyed it. I used to draw her everywhere. Oh my god, I loved it. And I'm not ashamed to say that one of the first manga series that I ever owned was Absolute Boyfriend. I was in like the 8th, 9th grade. Leave me alone. It was super cute. I've still got it somewhere, actually. And that devolved into me finding more friends and discussing manga with them, and then them giving all of their favorite series to me, and me just going to Borders and being like, do I like this one enough to buy it? I don't care, I'm buying it. And I've discovered a lot of my favorite authors that way, and I just try to buy all of their books because if I like your writing style and I love your art, I'm just gonna buy it and deal with it. I came to find Kaori Yuki, and I loved Angel Sanctuary. That is like my favorite series in the whole world. It is only 20 books long, but the art style, oh my god, it's just unbeatable, if I'm being honest. I really love the art style in those books. And as I said that I got Vampire Knight, Matasori Hino does like Captive Hearts, Murray Puri, and like they're very romancy, but they're cute, and I liked them. So I got them. There's Queenie-chan, Ashita. I didn't really get into Junji Ito until recently. I got a couple of their books at the thrift store, and I was like, all right, everybody's super hype about this guy. I need to see his stuff. And I really enjoy, like, the out there of his work. It's almost like he just has a really random thought and he's like, wouldn't this be absolutely terrifying? And then it usually is like a really terrifying concept, and I enjoy that, even if it doesn't always follow through when they try to make like TV shows and stuff about it. It's not lost on me. I love horror and things of that nature. When I first started reading books, it was all Stephen King and horror, and I just immersed myself in it. So to find it in manga made it like even better too. I couldn't be happier. And then when I got into high school, I joined a little thing called the English Festival. And we would go there, we had to read 7 books. We'd go and like write papers about it, be in little group activities with like kids from all over the place in Youngstown, Ohio. And I got to meet Lori Hayes Anderson there, which is my little claim to fame. This is my little group. You can't really see it too well, but that little chunk right there is me. We got to read Winter Girls and Speak that year, and her book covers some harder subjects, but meeting her, she was so sweet and so nice. She signed my copy of Speak and said that we are sisters, and it warms my heart to this day. So if you go to read her books, just be warned. She does cover some tough subject matter for people to read into, but I think her messages are pretty powerful and could be some good in people's lives if they can handle it. But don't harm yourself and ruin the reading experience. That's not what this is all about. And using that segue into a little bit of lighter reading material, I've got Cornelia Funk. I have always enjoyed her writing. I know that her writing is for young adults and kids and stuff like that, but I still find it more enjoyable than romance novels. So there's that. I'm also really into classic literature. I love Poe, Shakespeare, Asimov, Shelley, Tolkien. However, there will be no Jane Austen or Chaucer in this house. Get your smut elsewhere. I love Frank Herbert, Ray Bradbury, both of the Vonnegut's. I really enjoy their writing style. I think a lot of them take like their political stuff from the time period, mixing it with science fiction and a little bit of spirituality in there, and they're good for the brain. I enjoy reading them. They make me think, and I don't know. I couldn't praise them anymore. I've got a couple of favorites. Obviously, most people have heard of Fahrenheit 451. I like Cat's Cradle. What is another good one? I just finished God Makers by Frank Herbert. I really enjoy their writing. The first Dune book is fantastic. If you like David Lynch, you should like David Lynch. He did the first movie, which is perfect. No matter what anybody says about it, it's perfect. Because it is the book, essentially, and they never do that so well other than in that instance. It is the book, and I won't tolerate any slander on it. Dang it. Okay, maybe you can say whatever you want, but you shouldn't, because it's good. I've got a bunch of these Norton Anthology books. I really love those, and my first one was given to me by my English teacher in high school. I had them for all 4 years. I made them suffer. And so when I graduated, they gave me this copy, and I remember just being like, I have all of this knowledge now. When I went to college, I got The Dark Descent, which had like Clive Barker in it and all these other horror writers that I had never been exposed to. And I was just like, God, I've been missing out so much because growing up, I didn't have the internet, or like we didn't even have cable. I had like a channel most of the time, and I think it was like PBS because it was the only one that would come in the trailer park. So I would just read whatever was given to me or the people around me had, and like my bubble it felt seemingly small. There's a lot of literature in there, but I just felt like I was missing so much. And I discovered stuff like Ellen Hopkins in high school. Her writing is really beautiful. I like the different styles and stuff. Some of her topics are a little bit harder as well, but I think they're worth the read if you can handle it. I know that I keep saying that, but I don't want people to read a book and be like, wow, I didn't enjoy that. That was hard for me to read, or it was just too much for them. Some people only like light things to read. Most people like romance novels. Bah. Give me the Space Marines teaching bear lumberjacks in space how to use plasma weapons, and I'm there, baby, every day. I love it. Oh God, I love any trashy sort of sci-fi. I'm in there. I need to read it. And I don't know. What else do I got here? I got Rotten Ruin. That is a really cute zombie series. There's 4 books in it. I really enjoyed that one. The same with The Demon King. That one. I'm gonna die. The Demon King. That series was one that I started when I was finishing up high school, and they kept coming out with the books. And I know that a girl I went to the English festival with, I just remember us messaging each other, being really nerdy about waiting for this next book to drop, because like that was our thing. We needed escape. She lived in the trailer park next to mine, and it was just like, I'm gonna read my way out of here, baby. I've got tons and tons of books on gemstone identification, how to survive in the wildlife. I've even got books on like doing wiring or masonry and stuff of that nature. That's how I redid my workroom. Is I will occasionally watch a video, but I would much rather find it in a book. I don't know why. I just prefer to see it in a written format. And if I'm being honest, I really love the smell of old books too. I can't say that it smells like home, but it's just such a calming scent to me that I love it. And you'll often see me like sniffing books like some sort of deranged human. There's just very little that I won't read into. I've even suffered through a lot of romance novels. I grabbed one time, I think I was in like maybe 11th grade. I thought it was a vampire novel, and about like 100 pages into it, I was like, oh, okay, this is that kind of book then. I tried to suffer through, and nothing supernatural came up again. So it was interesting, but I can't stop once I've already started reading it. It makes me feel like such a quitter. So I have to suffer through even the worst book I've ever read, which I don't even know if I could pinpoint like the absolute worst book I've ever read. Because I think Pride and Prejudice is too easy. It's just long and like insists upon itself, but I don't know if that's the worst. I think I'd have to like put some serious time into like, because I've read a lot of books and some of them are bad, but I don't know which one is the worst. Maybe I'll have to do like a worst books list or something, and maybe I'll read excerpts from them all and make you all suffer with me. Begun reading the Legend of Driss series, which my brother has been recommending to me for at least 100 years now. It was his favorite growing up, but I started with the War of the Spider Queen series, and I was like, these are 7 books. You're asking me to read 40 books, and that's too many for some reason. And I put it off, and finally I decided that I was going to just buy them and read them, and I got myself this copy, and it happened to have 3 books in it. And then at the thrift store, my friend got me this one, which is an older one. So I've got both of those now, and I can use one to like flip through and beat up a little bit and keep the other one nice and pretty on the shelf and beat it up later. I try not to be too mean to my books. Usually what I mean by that is I do a lot of like opening, laying like with them. Sometimes I don't crease my pages or draw on them or anything like that. It kills me. These are just some of my books as well. I kind of just tried to like pick and choose things from certain authors and everything like that. When I was in high school, our library was downsizing, or I don't even know if it was downsizing, but maybe they just needed new books in, and they had a little cart, and she was like, yeah, we're throwing these books away, and I have all of them now. So I've got well over 300 books in my library, and I didn't want to just be like sitting in a pile of books, because some of them are still in boxes and everything, like my Bleach series. I hide my Absolute Boyfriend series down there because no one's gonna steal my boyfriend. Thanks for letting me ramble on about my books here. I didn't want to go on for like 6 hours or anything like that right away. This is kind of just like maybe a starter to a series or something like that I could do, where I talk about books that I enjoy more thoroughly, authors and things of that nature. So if you'd be interested in seeing any of that, or, you know, authors that I should check out, let me know down in the comments below. I would definitely be interested in adding some more authors to my horde. If you've enjoyed this video at all, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, do all the things, but the most important things, stay well, stay hydrated. Bye!